Guild Wars 2 offers a lot of DLC content, which is great for those who have already been hooked by the game, but what about those who are only just getting started? That's what I'm going to help you decide today. This is my list of which expansions I believe you should buy first in Guild Wars 2. This list is 100% my opinion, as there is no right or wrong way to purchase an expansion here for the game, so please keep that in mind. Also, consider liking and subscribing for more Guild Wars 2 content. Also, as a side note, the purchase order that I will cover here today is not in the order of the story, so if you care about following the story, you already know in which order you need to go in. Easily the first expansion that I think you should buy in Guild Wars 2 is Secrets of the Obscure. The three main reasons for this is that it, one, offers the Skyscale unlock, as well as a brand new story and access to the legendary armor for open world. The Skyscale unlock is arguably one of the most valuable unlocks that you will ever have for your Guild Wars 2 account, mainly because of the flying capabilities. Essentially, once this is unlocked, for the most part, all other mounts become secondary because of the Skyscale's versatility. Flying over the areas in Secrets of the Obscure is great, but using the Skyscale in literally every other zone moving forward makes traversing Tyria so much easier, especially for a new player. The story is also not super intrusive to the main dragon's arc, essentially picking up right after that is concluded, allowing for you to not really spoil yourself aside from being known as the commander. Now, I would be lying to say that there weren't any story spoilers throughout SOTO, however, it mostly focuses on a new story and a new enemy. Lastly is the new method of legendary armor. Essentially, legendary armor is the best gear in game that you can earn because its stats can be changed at free will, meaning that you can accommodate any build that you like once you have accomplished earning legendary gear. The armor can also be equipped by anyone who can wear that tier, whether it be light, medium, or heavy. So if your Elementalist unlocks the legendary armor, then your Necromancer will be able to use it as well. Also, the legendary armor can be changed to look differently at will. It's a massive quality of life improvement for a moderate grind. Without any other expansion, the only other ways to learn legendary armor is through either structured PvP or world versus world, which again is nothing but player versus player combat. You can unlock legendary armor in raiding, but that also requires you to either own Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, or new recently introduced Janthir Wilds. Having said all of this, Secrets of the Obscure expansion is not as robust as the main three of Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, or End of Dragons. However, it is still my first choice as far as an expansion, simply for the amount of account improvements and quality of life that you can earn. Also, for the price point of $25, it's not terrible. My next pick for unlocking expansions would actually be the Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire bundle, currently priced at $30 US. And this is for a few reasons, but the main reasons being the other mounts, gliding, and all the sweet elite specializations. Heart of Thorns picks up right after the main core story of Tyria and offers a continuation of the commander's growth, which is great for all those who are story-oriented. It also allows for gliding to be unlocked and its various masteries associated with it. Gliding can be unlocked technically with other expansions, but you can only improve it if you own Heart of Thorns. The major point of purchasing this bundle for $30 in my mind is the elite specializations. It simply just offers so much more character capabilities that it's like you're playing a brand new class. And each one of these classes has their own unique lore, it has their own affects. It's just done in such a way that it really revitalizes your interest into your own character just by changing these around. Of course, the other reason to pick up this bundle would be to earn the mounts that are associated with the account. Now, as mentioned, the Skyscale is oriented around Secrets of the Obscure, but there is an unlock for it in Path of Fire through the Living World Season 4 DLC. However, this requires another in-game purchase of about $15 and a fairly heavy grind to unlock it completely. Save for the Roller Beetle, another Living World Season 4 mount, the rest of the mounts are unlocked during the baseline story of Path of Fire, and all the masteries associated with it, so even if you don't have your Skyscale mount, you can still pretty well traverse the rest of the game with minor inconvenience. Also, this would be a great time to mention that you can also get the other flying mount in the Griffin. Now, the Griffin isn't as versatile going up as the Skyscale, but it can travel incredibly fast if done correctly. My third pick is going to be End of Dragons. The journey to Cantha is quite honestly for the skiff and all the fishing, the closing of the main story, and the capabilities of earning Orion's legendary weapons, not to mention another set of elite specialization. End of Dragons expansion, it runs a cost of about $30 US. The skiff and the fishing were one of the more prominent features of this expansion, offering a way to traverse open water and find different ways to fish out away from the shore. And honestly, it's one of the more enjoyable collections in the game, honestly, is in that being of the fish finding. Honestly, it's something fun to note that just hunting down fishing nodes and fishing for a little bit to earn achievements is, I very much enjoyed it. The fish that you catch can simply be turned into fillets and then sold to the trading post for a nominal gain. So in a sense, it does end up garnering you some kind of financial gain. Also, some of the skiff skins are actually pretty badass. The main story arc of Guild Wars 2 closes with this expansion. We see the wrap up of our dragon buddy Aurene and all of her family problems, along with a fairly satisfying conclusion to the commander's bond with her. While not the main focus of why I would buy these expansions in this order, it is a pretty good tale. Lastly, another fantastic reason to buy this expansion is of course the access to Orene's legendaries, which not only can be crafted by End of Dragon shenanigans, they can also be bought and sold off the trading posts, obviously for a massive cost or profit. The collections are not overtly difficult, simply following completing events in and around Cantha to get the required unlock. This is not to mention the new elite specializations that are tied to the expansion, which is honestly my main reason for playing my elementalists. I love the Catalyst Elite specialization here. Janthir Wilds is fourth on my list, and simply because it does not offer as much in regarding to account locks across the board. But by no means is it not a solid choice. The $25 Janthir Wilds expansion gets you the immediate up-to-date with the current story of Guild Wars 2, as well as offering the homesteads and brand new use of spears as main weapons. And of course the improvements to the Warclaw mount. While the story has been mixed in reviews, it still does provide a fantastic roundup of all that has happened up until this point, which is a great framework of the history of the commander and the dragons without really spoiling anything story-wise, so that's a huge plus. It takes you far north to deal with the quote-unquote strangers and forge a bond with the lowland Coden. The other major reason to purchase this expansion is the homesteads. Homesteads are exactly what they sound like. They are customizable places to build and create your own personal house on this fjord. This also transfers over and functions as your home instance, but honestly this was something that was sought after heavily for a very long time, and they've done a fairly good job with this. The spears, and it's a bit personal for me, but I love the fact of using a spear as a main hand weapon. Very few games let you use a spear as a primary weapon, let alone a whole expansion that's almost oriented around it. Truly does provide a great new weapon that's honestly, it's badass. This one's for me. The last major feature of this expansion is the improvements of the Warclaw mount. The Warclaw is the central focus of the Janthir Wilds expansion, offering a variety of improvements such as jumping, sniffing, and even open world boss interactions that you can drag them down. It's pretty cool. The Warclaw here also is an excellent alternative to those who may not have the sky skill yet, as it can move incredibly fast, jump, and honestly somehow almost fly. It's not a bad choice as expansions go. And lastly, the Living World seasons are the smaller DLCs in between the main expansions that offer a little bit of a continuation of that story, fills in the gaps as it were. While these have smaller self-contained stories and little arcs, I would make note that Living World Season 4 is probably the best bet to get here. It continues directly after the events of Path of Fire, and it has you fighting the branded Elder Dragon across the Crystal Desert. The main notes for this DLC is the story, yes, but then also access to the Sky Scale and the Roller Beetle, as well as the legendary trinket Vision. The Sky Scale unlock through this method is extensive, and that's me being generous, and it does require some dedication, while the Roller Beetle unlock is fairly straightforward. The trinket Vision, you'll have to spend quite a bit of time in these zones, so by the end of it, you probably will be sick of it. Maybe that's just me, I was. I say this, however, the story for Living World Season 4 is truly one of the best stories in this entire game. Having an incredible turn of events, twists, epic clash, it is easily one of my most memorable experiences of Guild Wars 2. That being said, that is a personal note, as Living World Seasons 1, 2, and 3 and Icebrood Saga also offer their own features, but in my opinion, none as robust as Living World Season 4. This all being said, that there is no right or wrong way to purchase these expansions, and it honestly is up to personal preference. However, I do hope that this has made it a little bit easier for you to choose which route you would like to go. For those interested in unlocking mounts, please see this complete guide on how to unlock every single mount here in Guild Wars 2. As always, stay caffeinated, folks.